I am Allie Rosen, joined by
Matt Peters.
and this is Animatronic Dinosaurs. Well, Matt, why don't you talk? Ooh, wow, my mic is really low.
How's it going, everyone?
How about now? Ooh, there we go. Much better. Matt, let's...
All right, well, this week's box office, we didn't have any big, wide releases except for The Huntsman Winter's War, which got some killer responses in a very negative way. Has a 17 online, but it came in second place, far distant second place, with 20 mil.
Yeah,
but the budget is 115, so that can't really be really good for the franchise.
That didn't end well.
No, but it has a good cast, but I guess, script is pretty important. First place, though, is The Jungle Book in its second week.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Good job, Jungle Book.
Only dropped 40%, which is pretty good.
That movie's going to hold until Civil War comes out.
It made 60 million second week, so now its total is up to 190. And, yeah, it's looking good. I think it's going to be the first in a string of live actions from classic Disney movies.
They've already started it. It's just been the first successful one.
Yeah. And the Alice in Wonderland sequel's coming out in a month. That's probably going to make a lot. Third place, we got Barbershop, the next cut at 10 mil. That surprisingly has gotten a lot of good responses.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I heard it's got kind of a family.
I'm interested to see it.
I am sorry, everybody, for all of the constant bonking around.
Fourth is Zootopia with 6 mil. And
it's still holding. That's incredibly.
316, which...
where's Batman v Superman sit?
Oh, sixth place with 5 mil.
Wow, that's so sad.
Yeah,
you know what? I might just go out to the theater just to watch it. If I had money, I would.
It's only 3 mil ahead of Zootopia at this point, which is
3 mil ahead or behind?
Ahead.
Ahead. That way, Batman v Superman's ahead.
Yeah, but it's probably gonna be pretty close when it all comes said and done, which is a little disappointing because you got a Disney animated family movie and then you got one of the most highly anticipated films of all time.
And yeah, it's really depressing that we'll be paying attention to it as it goes downhill slowly.
But there's a lot of news with the new Justice League movie. Like you got.
But do we really care, honestly?
Well, I like the casting decision of J.K. Simmons as Gordon. I mean,
they're trying really hard. I think it might just end up as this one did. Isn't Zack Snyder still directing it?
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe Ben Affleck will swoop in there, hopefully.
Well, he will direct a solo Batman movie. That'll be good. I just think, if we notice it's been Zack Snyder this whole time.
Yep. And Willem Dafoe signed on. Probably going to be a cool villain, hopefully, or some kind of sidekick.
Said he wasn't a villain.
He's not a villain?
He's not a villain.
He's lying.
I know. He's definitely playing Darkseid.
He's going from the perspective of his character then, thinking he's a good guy.
Willem Dafoe's definitely playing Darkseid.
Yeah, you can't do that smile and be nice. You know what I mean? He's too good.
Who's the guy who I always think looks like Willem Dafoe?
What's he
in? He's in Magnolia and in...
I don't know.
And in Fargo.
I don't know who you're thinking of.
All right, I'm going to look this up. This is going to kill me. Anyways.
Looks like Willem.
He looks like Willem Dafoe.
He has the same smile?
No, not like that kind of same smile.
Oh, William H. Macy.
William H. Macy. There we go. I would have loved to see William H. Macy as a villain.
Really?
I don't know.
I don't know. He's too like everyman. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of like connection with William H. Macy.
He plays the same kind of depressing character in every single movie he's in.
But he's like a normal depressing guy.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's crazy.
He always plays like a... Yeah, he pretty much plays the same character and everything. Well, Willem Dafoe pretty much plays the same character.
Yeah, but I love him.
Yeah. Oh, well. He always plays a villain, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah. He's good.
Oh, Magnolia. I still have to talk about you in film class.
Ooh. All right. Talk about movie news. Did you hear that Stephen King's It is becoming a film?
Yeah, well, that's been going along for a while now.
But it's finally going to have a release date.
Are they still doing it in 2 parts?
Yes.
Oh my God, that is interesting to say the least.
Yep.
I have never seen the original Pennywise movie.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's horrible?
Yes.
In a good or bad way?
It's boring. It's overlong.
That is. And you think a 2-part one will be any less boring?
I mean, there's a lot to the story. This one just had horrible pace. So it was just like them talking about, horrible things.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll just kind of see.
That movie I also saw in 4th grade, and it like scarred the crap out of me for years to come.
Of course, a movie about an evil shape-shifting
who
alien
eats children,
and decides to become a clown.
Yeah.
That's some, like,
I don't like clowns.
Krampus level crap right there.
I agree.
All right. Well, let's move on to one of the things just to kind of mention. Prince died last week. Yeah. He's very big in the, not just in the music industry, but the movie industry. He is, of course, the movie Purple Rain. Matt had a chance
to watch. Highly successful. Yeah. It's interesting. When he's doing the song, I mean, the songs are great. And, like, when you think about it, when that movie came out, those were the debuts of those songs. So that's why people probably loved it. I mean, I thought it was a little, all over the place as a film. But, like, don't get me wrong. It's worth watching, and he's amazing in it.
Yeah. And then there's the Batman soundtrack. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So we lost somebody important in the film industry. It's just like when David Bowie died. David Bowie, while he was a star of the music industry, he did make his own impact on film. So Prince kind of had control, not control, but it was like big in the 80s. So we thought we're going to just review some of the decades and specifically take a look at the top 5 80s movies that we see. Yeah. But before that, there was a very important trailer that came out.
Ooh. One of the most highly anticipated films.
Jason Bourne.
Yes. This is one of the best trilogies of our time, I think.
Well, now it's like a saga because there's 5 of them.
I don't want to count the Jeremy Renner one.
I haven't seen it.
It was not that good.
I feel like it came out around the same time the Total Recall remake was, and didn't see that either.
It was very unspectacular. The script was not great.
Really? Because I thought Jeremy Renner's a good action star.
Oh, he's good, but this movie itself was not. And he was trying so hard to like replace Matt Damon. And Matt Damon's, you can't replace Matt Damon.
No, that's the movie that kicked off his like action career.
Yeah, his A-list, like, this guy's better than Ben Affleck career.
He's not better than Ben Affleck.
Oh, please.
He is not.
As an actor?
As an actor, he is not better than Ben Affleck.
This guy is the James Stewart of our generation. He plays the every guy, but he plays him so well that he can do anything. He brings such humility to Jason Bourne.
Ben Affleck is one of the best. Ben Affleck sits up there with Matthew McConaughey as one of the greatest movie stars ever. He can direct his own movies. He is an Oscar-winning director.
I think you're forgetting 2002 to 2009.
The Argo, The Town. Like, he's got such a good list. Even despite everyone hating him, he was a great Batman. Matt Damon would not have made a great Batman.
Matt Damon can do anything.
Matt Damon cannot do anything. He could not play Batman.
Yes, he can.
Did he star in Dazed and Confused? Or at least be in Dazed and Confused?
Matt Affleck didn't do anything.
No, Matt Damon was not in Dazed and Confused. And every actor that came out of Dazed and Confused was successful. That's not true in the slightest.
3-1? No.
No, but both.
All right.
All right, whatever.
Well,
Ben Affleck and McConaughey were.
You know why this trailer is great? It does not get rid of any plots, synopsis, or anything. It's just, you have the basic, he's going out for redemption, his life is not great.
Well, now he knows who he is, which is what's going to be interesting.
But he's still confused. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he's always confused.
He's still in hiding.
And I love how in every single Jason Bourne movie, they always say, "Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne.
He's back."
That's literally said in every single trailer.
The action in this franchise is great.
Everyone's talking about that punch.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Punch. It's perfect thriller, these franchise. And I'm very excited for the next one.
Speaking of thrillers, I've been on a thriller binge lately. Yeah. I have sitting in my room right now 12 Monkeys, Jacob's Ladder, the Zodiac, and I cannot remember the fourth one for the life of me.
Did you like Zodiac?
I haven't watched it yet. The ones I have watched are not really thrillers, but I saw Bubba Hotep and Hateful Eight a second time. And watching it a second time, better. Even better. Like, it's a good movie.
Even the opening?
Even the opening. I mean, it's long, but like, I watched it with somebody who hadn't seen it yet, and like, he was blown away. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I think I was a little too harsh on it at first, but rewatching it's a good movie. But yeah, I have a lot of thrillers.
Have you seen not Usual Suspects, Reservoir Dogs?
Oh yeah, I own Reservoir Dogs. I've seen every single Tarantino movie except for Death Proof and Jackie Brown.
Death Proof's good. It's not great. It's good though.
It's good. Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's like it is the worst Tarantino movie, but not because it's bad, just because it's meh.
Yeah, I like the Robert Rodriguez one.
Planet Terror is decisively the better of the two.
Yeah, well, that's cool. All right, so going back to like the decades.
Are we gonna do the top 5 80s?
You want to do top 5 movies?
I'd like to do the top 5 80s movies.
All right. This was a very tough list to construct, and we omitted franchise films.
Sort of. We omitted
Sort of.
strong franchise
Yeah.
films.
Like, Indiana Jones, that was a strong franchise.
Very strong franchise.
Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, strong franchise.
Caddyshack, not strong franchise.
No. So, like, movies like that where, like, the sequel was just a money ploy.
Goonies 2 still hasn't happened.
Yeah. Like, those kind are on this list, but not the, ones that are classic more than one film.
Gremlins. I've heard about Gremlins 2, but Gremlins 1 was the main one.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start with...
Honorable mentions.
Yeah. It was hard to not have honorable mentions.
We're not going to, actually go into honorable mentions, but we'll just
name them?
Just name them, because,
right.
my honorable mentions might be on your list, and your honorable mentions might be on mine.
Starting out, Broadcast News, a great dramedy.
Never seen it.
I'd recommend watching it. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Great script. Okay. Broadcast News. Caddyshack.
You couldn't even get it into your top 5.
Nope. I tried, because I love this movie.
Still haven't seen Caddyshack.
But I was just like, you haven't seen it. Oh.
Yeah. I'm waiting, because, I've gone off to college now.
It's funny, dude.
I'm waiting to see it with my dad.
Dude, it's one of those movies, you have Bill Murray and Chevy Chase, but the funniest thing is Rodney Dangerfield. Like,
I'm waiting to see it with my dad.
All right, and then another honorable mention.
There's so many good movies in the 80s, honestly.
Yep, and I want to get my top 5 When Harry Met Sally.
All right, is that your 5?
That's my honorable mention.
Honorable mention, okay.
Yeah. Which is like a great rom-com.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so let me just throw out some honorable mentions from my side. Like, these are great movies, but let's see. Weird Science was the 80s, I think. Geez, I can't even think of half of these. Top Gun, great 80s movie, did not make my list. Goonies, Gremlins, Evil Dead, all incredibly good movies, but sadly did not make my list. Pretty much, Breakfast Club, great movie, did not make my list. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, great movie, did not make my list.
Man.
All right, but here we go. What's your top 5? What's your 5?
All right, my 5 is The Princess Bride.
Oh my God,
1987
such a good
movie.
That's Inigo Montoya, right?
Yep, he's in it.
Oh, you killed my father, prepare to die.
Patinkin in his best role of his career.
I think I saw that with my cousins on Thanksgiving.
I love this film. It is, a lot of people say this, it's a movie for everyone, and it truly, truly is.
Yeah.
You got the romance, you got the action, you got the comedy, you got the thriller, you got the adventure film. Anyone can enjoy this movie. You got great characters who are like, it makes fun of the genre.
Of course.
It's so well done.
I mean, the 80s genre is such an easy genre to make fun of.
Yeah.
Because it's so specific in what it is.
Everyone's so amazing in it. Like the whole, how it's a story being told to a kid, though, but it really works well because it makes so much sense that this is just a classic princess movie, like, story, but it has so much heart to it. So it's so genius. Andre the Giant is, like, iconic in this movie.
He's iconic.
He's great. And the Inconceivable. It's just, there's so much from this movie. And if you haven't seen it, I'd highly recommend it. Just watch it with anyone, and they'd also probably enjoy it.
All right. I forgot one. I just moved from my number 5 to my honorable mentions list. So can I throw that in there?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High would be my number 6 if we had a number 6. Because it's very good. In fact, I'm just going to say it's tied for 5.
Tied for 5?
Tied for 5.
You're from California, man.
Fast Times is a great movie. I think it was shot near where my dad grew up. So yeah, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Amazing 80s movie. Definitive, coming of age film. The entire 80s were, all about coming of age films. And this is, I think, my favorite of all of them.
Very nice. What was your 5B?
My 5B, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, it's such a good movie. It is one of those ones that people still talk about nowadays, and they still can't make a good remake of it. Despite me actually enjoying the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, I know very few people do. I liked it. But the Nightmare on Elm Street from the 84 Nightmare on Elm Street is an incredible movie. It's twisting. It's awesome. It defined an entire horror generation. And I mean, the entire 80s really did that, which I'll talk about later on why, one of the reasons I love the 80s so much. But, it really defined kind of what horror franchises would be going forward. So, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street was my 5.
Very nice.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, we have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's not that scary.
Oh, I bet not. Like Halloween. It's not that scary.
Sadly, most 80s horror movies have not aged. All right, what's your 4?
My number 4, classic. I just couldn't get it higher. The Shining.
Oh,
Yeah. Nope.
It's higher up for me.
I bet it is.
All right.
But no, I'm just gonna say.
Let's wait for it. Wait for it.
I
'Cause
can't talk the flaws. All right, I'll wait.
don't talk the flaws yet. Wait till later.
All right.
Because there's no flaws
What's
to
your
The
number
Shining.
4? There are.
There is no flaws to The Shining. Outside
It's
of
called.
it's
It's not that timeless. It's timeless, but it's not like 100%
It
timeless.
is one of the best movies of all time.
Well, a lot of people say that.
All right, my number 4 is another. I mean, you just said The Shining, and I said Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, 4 for me is The Thing. One of those 80s movies that has aged very well.
Yeah.
I still think it is like my issue with some of the 80s horror movies is they don't age. I mean, they've aged a lot. Like when Freddy Krueger starts attacking the one girl, this like ridiculous 80s music starts playing and all the fear kind of goes away. But The Thing like is still scary. Like it's still a scary movie, and that's pretty impressive. And I love the like entire story of it. We've talked about The Thing before though, so actually we just talked about it last week. So what's your 3?
My number 3 is Risky Business.
Oh, that's a good
Tom
movie.
Cruise. This is coming of age. It's funny.
Is that the one? Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. It's all those ones. Risky Business, Boogie Nights.
Oh man, this made Tom Cruise
Footloose.
into a star, and he hasn't looked back since.
I need to really rewatch all the Dancing Saga movies. I've seen like I've never fully seen Risky Business in its entirety. I've never seen Footloose in its entirety.
This is a lot better than Footloose. Because it's very, there's tense moments in this movie. You really relate to the character from the beginning because he's just a guy who's like going through the motions of high school, but he wants to, expand before he goes to college, and he's just having trouble, and it's a ride.
All right.
And,
I'm definitely going to rewatch those. Yeah. I think I'm going through the thriller phase right now. I'll probably go through another horror phase, and then I'll probably go back into I'll probably do the dance movies.
I wouldn't call it a dance movie. There's just one scene where he does a dance montage.
I mean, it's like it kind of fits in this category as Saturday Night Fever, Boogie Nights. I mean, Boogie Nights isn't really even that.
Yeah, it's like Saturday Night Fever. I think it's better. It's a better script. That's also a lot more funny. But Saturday Night Fever I like too, but that's 70s, unfortunately. All right. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is one of the greatest movies of all time, Blade Runner.
I don't know.
Blade Runner is amazing.
I don't really like it that much.
Oh.
It's okay.
Blade Runner is such a good movie. It is one of those like Ridley Scott's made good movies. Alien's an incredibly good movie. The Martian's a great movie. Gladiator's a good movie. But Blade Runner's his best.
Blade Runner was ahead of its time.
Yes.
Far ahead of its time. I will agree with that.
It was something that it was challenging stuff that we kind of can see nowadays. Like like in everything there, everyone speaks in like Chinese, which is kind of what our world's going to if you think about it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely crafted.
It's still kind of ahead of the time right now.
It's a beautiful movie. Yes. But I don't know. It was just a little silly with like some of the stuff.
Honestly, I think I haven't seen it in a long time, but when I first saw it, I was not at a level that I could actually understand what's going on.
Oh, okay.
But I think I need to rewatch it. I'm kind of upset that they're making a sequel remake. That's dumb. Leave Blade Runner as it is.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work because some of its charm is how, like, amazing it was for the 80s. But,
and, like, it's so surpassed.
It could look super CGI now. Like,
it's going to
incredibly bad.
Ugh, I'm so upset about that.
And, like, no Harrison Ford at the helm. Like, he carried that movie with
That is one of the reasons the movie is super good.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones, it's like a lot like The Matrix, at least. But, I mean, even so, more so than The Matrix. Like, it's just something we still, like it's still such a active, not even active, but like such a movie you could watch nowadays and still be like, this is still ahead of where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very smart.
Yeah.
As I'm sitting here with Freddy Krueger staring back at me on my computer screen, I'm gonna get rid of that. All right.
My number 2.
Yes, number 2.
All right. I got Scarface.
Oh yes, I forgot Scarface came out in the 80s.
I just love this movie. Al Pacino
in his to my little friend.
His wild character of Tony Montana. Horrible Cuban accent. I don't know what he's doing with his mouth, but that's not the fun of this movie. It doesn't really like hurt it. He's just crazy.
Yeah.
You got Stephen Bauer as his buddy, Michelle Pfeiffer. But there's just scenes in this movie that just make your spine tingle. It's crazy.
Where'd you put this in like the lengthiness of the mob movies? Like,
well, it's different. I put it number 3 behind.
Oh yuck! There's a Scarface remake.
Well, actually, I put it
out.
4 because I need to have The Godfathers, then Goodfellas, then this. But Scarface is just awesome.
I think I'd do the same except to switch around Godfather and Goodfellas.
Scarface, the only bad thing, it's it's long. It's 2 hours 50 minutes. That's the one thing. But every scene, you're invested into it because this character, you take him from once he enters the U.S. and then you just see the ride up and then the fall, and it's just awesome. So Scarface is my number 2.
Have you heard they are going to make a remake of Scarface?
I have not heard that. I don't want it to happen.
Al Pacino's supports
amazing.
it.
Yeah, I bet he does. He'll probably get some commission.
Yeah, he's getting some money to support it.
No, I can't see anyone else doing that role as good as him because the dialogue is campy as hell, but like with him doing it, it's just so
makes
believable.
It so much better
because he's got that look in his eyes of like, no one double cross me or else you're gonna die, which is the truth. It's just he does whatever he has to get to the top, and it happens, and it's just awesome. So what's your number 2, buddy?
My number 2 is The Shining.
Well, I mean, I love the movie. It's on my list. So
yeah, The Shining is. This could be my number 1, honestly. Like it is teeters. It pretty much ties for number 1 for me. The Shining is one of those movies that I've gone so deep into this movie. It was the first film paper I've ever written was on The Shining. Is it your
favorite Stanley movie?
Yeah, it is my favorite. I mean, I haven't really fully watched any of the other ones, which makes it kind of yes, of course. But like even so, I could watch Clockwork Orange and all these others. We're gonna have somebody on here at some point to talk Kubrick because I know a friend of mine's a huge Kubrick fan, but I need to first catch up and see the rest of the Kubrick movies. But I still don't think there will be a Kubrick movie that gets to where this one is. I mean, it's such a great movie, and over spring break, I got a chance to go to the Ahwahnee Hotel in Yosemite and see like what inspired this like film, and it's such a
yeah. You went to see the hotel. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, it's such a like a really just physical movie.
Did it have like a vibe to it when you went to see the hotel?
Oh yeah, like walking into it. I mean, I know it's like people visit it, but it felt like walking to that hotel.
It's like the same look.
Because I mean, it's not exactly like you don't walk down the hallways, but they look like it, and you see the elevator, you see like. The floors are like that. There is no room.
Does anyone stay there?
People stay there. Yeah. No, it's I mean, it's not the hotel that is considered the Shining Hotel, and it's not the one that looks like it on the outside, but it's the one that inspired it.
Oh, okay.
Like, but you walk in and like, seeing that though, it made the movie so much more believable too. And it's such a crazy movie that you could watch this so many times and get something new out of it every time. I managed to do that, and I've seen this movie 4 or 5 times.
The issue I have though is that a lot of it can come off as funny, like the bathroom scene. Like that's not supposed to be funny, but when you watch it now, like half the people would laugh at that because it's just.
Well, I think the scenes that try to heighten the scare, and I think that's true about so many '80s horror movies, don't work. But the kind of like scary stuff other than that, like the weird pig guy, that's funny.
Yeah.
But like
also like the end, he, like the look of his face, that comes off as a little funny.
But like if you like think about it, the scene where Danny's being chased by his dad is terrifying.
In the bathroom,
Imagine a kid being in that situation. You can't trust your father anymore, and they're running through the snow, and he has to make the choice to either save or kill his dad. That is such a crazy choice by it. And the atmosphere going into it, like just him like moving through the hallways. And like the level of like acting that Kubrick gets out of his actors is just beyond me. Yes. I'm glad it was in your list too, because it is one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah, Nicholson has best, I'd say.
Yeah, his best. It made him into Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
The crazy. Whoa. Mm-hmm. Did Batman make it on your list?
No.
Was that was 89?
I think so. But it's not on my list.
It was not on my list. It's still a great movie though.
Yeah. All right, my number 1 is a movie very close to me, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That is a great movie.
That's as fun as it gets. When you see this movie, you just it's just a ride. And Matthew Broderick, he could never fight out of this character who he's gotten typecast his entire life. He probably hates this movie. I think he does, but it just like destroyed his career. But he got off to such a skyrocketing start. John Hughes, he's a bit of a definition of the 80s.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is something everyone can watch.
Yeah, Hughes though, like I'm a fan of Breakfast Club, 16 Candles.
Same.
But this one to me is above them all, just because it has the heart, funny, adventure.
I mean, it's kind of sad. I don't see Matthew Broderick have done anything since then. The only really other movie I remember him in really well is Godzilla, and that was a terrible movie.
Godzilla. Oh, he's done some stuff. He also does Broadway.
That's
so
good.
he is acting and everything.
Like, I mean, this was like kind of his.
Yeah.
This is his character.
Yep, Ferris. He's just the coolest guy ever. No one hates him.
Bueller.
Then you got Cameron, who's the perfect foil to him, but they're best buddies. And like just the transformation he goes through on that day off. It's just one day.
It's a coming to age movie.
Yeah, it defines what they become.
It defines the 80s too.
Yep. Ed Rooney, he's hilarious. Jeffrey Jones plays him. It's just Ferris Bueller.
Yep, a very good movie. On the other side of the spectrum, a movie that is probably as close to Ferris Bueller as to you, this movie is to me, is the movie Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Ghostbusters is a movie I didn't really see that much when I was a kid, but as I've gotten older, it has become one of my favorite movies of all time. There's just something about it that I just love. I love all of the world that they're in. And I mean, yes, Ghostbusters has had a sequel, but I don't really talk about Ghostbusters 2.
No,
not that good. Nor do we talk about the new one that's coming out. I'm curious, but
hey, I mean, they're doing the SNL cast, so
I'm worried about it. It looks good, to say the least. Like and I think that's what kind of like gets me into the world of Ghostbusters. I was a Ghostbuster for Halloween last year. Like it's that feeling of all of the stuff. Like there's suits. There's the firehouse. They have the Ghostbusters car. It's like the Ecto one. It's just such a good movie, and it really like arcs over the 80s. It's got all the great 80s music. It's got that theme that everyone knows.
Yeah, the Halloween theme.
No.
I don't know why the new trailer focuses on Chris Hemsworth so much.
The international trailer does.
It's like a third Chris Hemsworth, but
I mean, maybe he's an important character in it. I don't know. It might just be that he's got those few scenes, but
yeah.
Well, like even so, like I mean, the comedy giants in the original Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. Like you can just rewatch it at any point in time, and it's really held up. And it both holds up as a movie, and you can go back and watch it, and like this is what the 80s are like.
Very nice.
I love Ghostbusters. So we have to talk about decades. Unlike Matt, I did not make a list of my favorite decades.
We could just talk about our decades.
We'll just talk about it. So where would you rank some of the decades?
Where did I rank them? All right.
What was your least favorite decade of movies, would you say?
Oh, well, I didn't really see like the 40s, but I'm going to go with the 2000s.
Yeah.
Just because, they had that writer's strike for like 2 years.
And I mean, the 2000s has some good movies. Like, there are good movies in every single decade.
No, that's definitely true.
Like, there are very good movies in every decade. I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time is Let the Right One In, and that was 2009.
Yeah, no, I had The Dark Knight. I mean, that's 2000s. And of course, it was defined by The Lord of the Rings at the beginning.
Those are incredible movies.
They're incredible, but like to me, like they're not one of my favorites. But they are incredible. Like, don't get me wrong, they're as epic as it gets. But
Lord of the Rings is one of those things. Like, I wouldn't put any of them on my favorite movies of all time, but they are the number one. For me, they're my number one franchise of all time.
They all just blend to me. So I guess that sort of goes with what you're saying.
They're one big arc.
Yeah. But and then you got all the Pixar movies like Up and Monsters Inc.
Those were all. I mean, it was a really good time to be a kid.
Yeah.
Like, we had some good kids movies.
Yeah. And then you had like No Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood, like movies like that, but
like other than that, there wasn't something very strong.
No. To me it was like, it was probably the least.
What would you say maybe like your third favorite decade?
My third favorite? I got the 80s for my third favorite. I know that's probably your number one, buddy.
That 80s, I believe, is the greatest movie time. What's your number 1? What's my number 1? My number 1's the 80s. What's yours?
I'd assume the 80s are like classic, iconic to me, but like my number 1 is the 70s.
The 70s.
I think it's quality over quantity because you got The Godfather, Star Wars.
Yeah, but Star Wars,
Jaws, Apocalypse Now. Like, I mean,
okay, yeah,
Rocky.
It's so hard to put the 70s up against the 80s because yes, Jaws is great. Apocalypse Now is incredible.
Yeah, the 80s, you like a lot more fun. Like, those are like the blockbuster, like Back to the Future.
Jaws created the blockbuster, and then when that came to the 80s perfected it with the sequels to Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the rest of the Indiana Jones. They all came out in the 80s. Back to the Future, the Alien movies,
the John Hughes movies,
like Die Hard.
It was just a fun decade for like.
It was incredible.
Yeah,
they're very like. I think the 70s and 80s kind of go hand in hand. The 80s wouldn't exist without the 70s, and the 80s kind of perfected what the 70s did in my mind.
Yeah, I don't know. The 70s, it's like the original ones, and then I also have like a lot of like cool dark, like Deer Hunter.
Oh yeah,
Cuckoo's Nest. Like
they're kind of like experience. There, I mean, Platoon, I believe, was 80s. I think FMJ was 80s. But like, Apocalypse Now is the 70s. And Apocalypse Now is one of the best movies of all time.
Alien 79.
Aliens 80s.
Yeah.
Aliens is, I believe, Trump's the original.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, one of the things I personally say is that in the 80s, they kind of created. That's when the horror movie finally kind of took flight, which is something that's, I mean, very important for me. Like the 80s had Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, it had Shining, had The Thing, had Evil Dead started in the 80s.
Yeah. Halloween was actually 78.
Halloween was 78.
The other ones were 80s. Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Yep.
Believe is 80s.
I think so.
Like, I mean, it kind of started the horror movie.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'd have to say, would your 2 be the...
My 2 is actually the 90s.
The 90s.
Because
I mean,
it's just very good. Edgy. They're very, like...
But also, there's some weird stuff that's in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was just listening to a review this morning of the movie Hackers. That's a really weird movie.
I don't know. You got Goodfellas in the decade. You got Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Oh my
Silence
God.
of the Lambs. But then you had like movies I'm not that big of a fan, like Forrest Gump, which is a classic.
I'm
but
not
like,
a big fan of Forrest Gump.
No, I'm not in love with that. I mean, Titanic, you know,
that was the
time
80s.
Big, but like you got Fight Club though, which is fun.
Fight Club, the 7, I believe, is the 90s.
Toy Story's in there. You got like, you know,
it was
Tarantino doing his thing.
It was kind of the age of the thriller in a way.
Yeah.
Or like just like the kind of action-y drama, the edgy drama.
Yeah. What brings it down to tears, Phantom Menace is in there. No.
Oh God. But then the rest of them came out in the 2000s.
Yeah. I love The Truman Show. That's there.
David Fincher kind of was like big in the 90s.
Yep. I agree.
Silence of the Lambs was the 90s.
I had trouble like picking like what do I like more, the 60s or 50s? Because like 60s you had all like the spaghetti westerns, but
those are fun.
Then I went with the 50s. I think I like a lot more just because of, you know, like Ben-Hur, Vertigo. You got like James Stewart movies.
Where would you put our current generation at? Because like
2010s. I have that right below the 80s. We're halfway through. I think it could easily be up more, but like
it's a really good time. It's been good so far.
Yeah, no.
And there's been a lot of bad stuff. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say like.
If you're not a fan of remakes,
Pixels was not a great movie, but it was one of my favorites just because
we've seen the decline of Adam Sandler in this.
Oh, it makes me so sad. Adam Sandler was
he's not on Netflix. Did you see the trailer for the new movie he has with his
I hear people say they like it.
Dude, it looks like funny, like a ridiculous.
Adam Sandler is another great thing about the 90s.
Yeah, early 2000s too, with Big Daddy and everything. I like that movie. But like 2010s, you know, you got like Social Network, Inception. Then you have like the indie, like Boyhood and like Birdman.
Which it's a great
12
great
Years
time
a Slave.
for.
I love that movie. It's getting a little lost in the shuffle.
Coming out this week, Green Room. I've heard so much good stuff about that.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of good reviews.
Like the indie is like really doing well right now. We see stuff like Spotlight and Room.
You got a good mix now, you know.
Yeah, because like I mean, the Oscars right now are like. It's just a battle between stuff that is an indie movie and stuff that is like blockbusters. And that's something that's so powerful about our generation is that we have these incredible filmmakers that we can look up to, plus ones like indie like makers that we could like actually become one at some point.
Yeah. Were you a big fan of Gone Girl?
I liked Gone Girl. I didn't see it till last year.
Wow. I really liked it. It was fun.
I did too. I thought it was a good thriller. Thrillers are great. I just kind of like recently become fan, like been like trying to catch up on all the thrillers that I've missed. Oh my God.
But yeah, there's really no bad decade, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like every decade's got its ups and downs. I feel like some have more ups than downs, aka the 80s and 70s. But like it's just a good time to be a fan of movies.
True that.
It's a really good time to be a fan of movies. All right, well, we're really ahead of schedule right now.
Yeah.
What else do we have to talk about? What's some news that's come out lately?
News? Well, like we mentioned, Green Room with Patrick Stewart. It hasn't gotten that much publicity, but
I really hope.
Just a couple trailers. But
it's currently playing in San Francisco, and I'm so upset that I'm not there to watch it. Like,
it's already out.
It's been short released. It's not wide released yet.
Okay.
And like, oh my gosh, that looked really good.
Yeah.
I was kind of sitting on it. I haven't seen his first movie, Blue Ruin.
Oh, yeah. Inhumans. Do you know what Inhumans is?
Is that
Marvel Universe?
I've not. I think it's like, for them, it will be kind of their...
That got removed from their schedule.
Ooh.
So,
that's...
I mean, I guess, exit before it becomes a problem.
I mean, I wasn't really into it. I would have liked to see Black Adam. Black Adam, I think? No, not Black Adam. Black Bolt. I would have liked to see him. I believe he's like the leader of the Inhumans. Don't quote me on that. I don't really know.
Oh, nice.
Yep, the ruler of the Inhumans.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see him. He's a really interesting character, but like that's the thing is that's kind of it.
Yeah. You know what else is coming out next week? Keanu.
Oh God, don't even start me on that.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan of Key and Peele, but there are a lot of fans of Key and Peele.
There are. I will admit there are fans.
They've been on for like 6 years, that show. They did Mad TV before that. Like, they have their fan base. And like, it's not for everyone.
From what I've heard, this movie will excite their fan base.
Yes.
Sadly will have to be reviewing it and will not be enjoying. Most likely won't be enjoying. No, I will go with an open mind. Like, it could be hilarious.
It could be.
I don't know.
They filmed in New Orleans.
I love New Orleans. You know that, though.
Away from Hollywood. And
well, I have a choice next week. I can either review Ratchet and Clank or I can review Keanu.
Ooh. I'd go Keanu, but Ratchet and Clank might be fun, too.
I mean, I don't think Ratchet and Clank will be good either.
John Goodman's voicing that. That's about it.
Video game movies have never had a chance.
No. I didn't even play Ratchet and Clank when I was little.
Nor did I. And then there's Warcraft, which does not look good.
That doesn't come out next week, does it?
No, it comes out in June. I won't be here to see it. Also sad that I won't be around to see Swiss Army Man.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for it?
I have. Swiss Army Man, Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe.
I cannot stop thinking about that movie.
It's Castaway.
It's Castaway with a great
minus
twist.
The beach ball.
Like
adding something else.
Indie movies nowadays, jeez. Also with the power of VOD right now, like you can make an indie movie and it can just come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can just see movies instantly, and I think that's such a crazy thing. Like the fact that there's like movies, oh, I want to see this movie, and then I look on iTunes and it's there for rent. Like the movie Holidays is this horror movie that's coming out, and I was like, I'm probably not going to see it in theaters because it's not going to be in any theater near me. And then it's on iTunes right now. I mean, I don't have enough money to rent it right now, but it's still out on iTunes. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And like that happens with so many indies, and it's really cool to just like be able to go online, watch this movie that you've heard about, be able to talk about it. I think Green Room has gotten enough stuff that I don't think it will be doing that. I think Green Room is going to get it might get wide release, which would be awesome.
Yeah, it probably will. We got Stort there. They'll go into the AMC theaters. I don't know about.
It is in the AMC theaters currently.
All right.
We just don't have an AMC theaters near us.
No.
It's currently playing. For all of you living in San Francisco, it is currently playing at the Metreon. I would love if people in the San Francisco area would go see that. Great for you. Let me know how it is.
For us Easton people, though,
we are stuck.
You're out of luck.
We're stuck with what is currently playing in the Easton.
Oh, it's not that much.
Let me see.
It's pretty much just the basic stuff.
The basic stuff. That basic stuff, though. Also, if Green Room isn't playing in your area, there are some good choices to see this coming weekend. I.e., Jungle Book.
Yeah, Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
A lot of people have seen it already, I'm assuming.
If you haven't seen Jungle Book, please see Jungle Book. Oh my God, it's so good.
You know what? Did you hear the news last week? It's
I feel like we say that a lot. Did you hear the news? But
AMC wanted to look into allowing their moviegoers to text during movies.
Oh my God, I did hear about this. This makes me so upset.
No, they were thinking about it, and then there was huge backlash.
Thank God.
Online, and so they scrapped it. But imagine that. I hate when people do that.
Okay, the second time I watched Jungle Book, let me go on a quick rant here.
Oh, it happens. No, it always happens.
No, but like this woman in front of me was texting, and I just want to go over and say, please be quiet.
Look, if you're going to text, go into the last row.
Yeah, like if you are the last row, That's great.
Yeah.
Feel free to text as much as you want. It's not going to distract anybody, but you need to make that physical choice if you're going to text.
Don't be in front of anyone because it ruins parts.
And also, if you are going to text, there is ways to do it without people noticing. Like put your jacket over your hands or turn your brightness down. You don't.
Yeah, that's good.
Whoops. Sorry about that, everybody. I got a little too much and swore on air.
It happens, man. This is a very heated topic. You know what I mean?
This is a very heated topic. You do not need to have your phone at full brightness.
I remember when I saw Jurassic World, man. These kids were texting in front of me, and I was just very, very
also,
angry.
Children in the theater. Like, I get it. The first time I saw Jungle Book, there were a lot of kids there, and they were loving it, and it was really making me happy. But then the second time, there was one family with kids there. There's another family with kids there, and they had this little baby, and the baby goes, meh, like halfway through the movie, and like, okay, that's understandable. The other parent, their little kids were talking the entire movie and like just saying stuff, and it was just really upsetting.
It's hard to control kids. Kids, I don't have an issue with because it is a sticky situation.
But you gotta control them.
It's hard though.
Like you just need to.
I don't know. When it's a kids movie though, I don't know. Like that's not my issue. But texting though, that's like adults doing that, and
it
that's
also
ridiculous.
is upsetting because like you're here to see this one movie. There's not another movie for you to see. Like there's nothing else that you should be focusing on.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, I did finally pull up what is playing. If you are
The Boss
in the area, here's the choices if you're in the Easton area for movies. Huntsman, Winter's War. I would not see that. Oh wait, shoot. Let me go up to
Book.
Friday. This next coming Friday, you have Ratchet and Clank, which looks like what I'm gonna be seeing. Oh no.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet.
Yeah, you really don't like Key and Peele, do you?
Yeah, but I think I would have rather see Keanu than that. Barbershop, Next Cut, Criminal. Not been hearing great things about that.
What is Mother's Day? That's opening here.
That actually, you know what? I might see that. Mother's Day. Is Mother's Day coming up?
Aniston,
I probably
Julie
should
Roberts.
look this up. Let me see when Mother's Day is. I got showtimes for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 8th, my dad's birthday. Is this another?
This
oh
is a
my
movie,
gosh.
Mother's Day.
Am I literally going to be gone when this event occurs?
What, Mother's Day?
No, it only comes around. Nope, it didn't occur. Once in a blue moon, it comes around that Mother's Day lands on my dad's birthday and Father's Day lands on my mom's birthday. This year,
is that always?
It's happened like once, I believe.
That's a little funny.
But this year, Mother's Day is going to be on my dad's birthday. Father's Day is not on my mom's birthday. It's like 2 weeks later. I won't be in America for my mom's birthday or Father's Day. But I will be in America, but not home.
Are you going to go to a German movie theater?
I hope I go to a German movie theater. There's enough coming out then that like I need to see some of these movies. Like let's look at all the stuff I won't be seeing.
Oh, there'll be a lot.
There's a decent amount that I'm not going to be around to see.
Are you going to be here for X-Men?
No, I won't.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's getting overshadowed because,
Civil
2 weeks,
War.
Civil War. Less
2
than 2
weeks. Oh my gosh, you do not know how excited I am for that.
No, it's going to be awesome. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's like...
They're just having like little snippet clips being released all the time, and like I'm staying away from those because I don't really need to see them yet.
I saw one from Jimmy Kimmel with it was the Winter Soldier fighting Black Widow and Iron Man. It's the scene where he puts the glove on and catches the bullet.
And then Black Panther comes at the end.
But like that scene, that like little 15-second scene was some of the most intense action.
Chadwick Boseman's gonna kill that role. He's gonna just come
feels
and be
very
badass.
Winter Soldier like. Speaking of which, I think it is about time for me to begin my binge.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
My goal is to watch all of the Marvel movies.
You're gonna have a lot to watch. I think it is time.
The only issue is I don't have access currently to the movie Thor or Captain America: The First Avengers. I'm hoping it's gonna be at our Skillman library.
They will be.
I have access. I have all of the other ones beyond that.
They'll be there.
But the binge may need to begin soon. There are 13 Marvel movies if you include Civil War, which means that if I watch,
you gonna do one a day?
I think I'm gonna try to do one a day. Shoot, I need to start now. Like I might need to do 2 a day now, or at least let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
next Saturday.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to need to do 2 once. Actually, wait, no. If I count today, so if I start today, I watch 1 today. I can watch all the Marvel movies before Civil War happens.
Go for it, man.
I think I might need to, or at least
if you're blessed with the time.
If I am blessed with the time, I probably won't be, considering there is 2 exams for me this week, back to back.
Good luck with that, buddy.
Yep.
All right, here's a question.
Okay. Throw it at me.
X-Men 1? No, not X-Men 1. Iron Man or Winter Soldier?
The first Iron Man?
Yeah.
I love Iron Man a ton. Like, Iron Man is my favorite Avenger. Started the universe, great. But Winter Soldier is a superior movie.
I agree.
It is. I know people say it's the best Marvel movie. I wouldn't put it ahead of Avengers or Guardians, but I do admit it is one of the best Marvel movies ever. It's one of the best action movies ever.
It's well made.
It's a thriller. It's just really. I was surprised by it. Like, I mean, I can say I've seen, with the exception of Thor 2, I've seen every Marvel Phase 2 movie on opening weekend. Or, like, just in general. But this was the one I saw by myself in the theaters, because, like, it was one of those weekends, like, I'd kind of been socially just burnt out at that point. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see a movie by myself. So I went to the giant IMAX theater downtown, sat down, got to see this movie, and I was just surprised. I went in with 0 expectations, with, like, literally the Rotten Tomatoes score under my belt. Like, okay, good Rotten Tomatoes score. Every Marvel movie gets a good Rotten Tomatoes score, except for, we're not going to talk about Ultron.
Thor 2
Ultron's
got like a 60.
But, like, it's a Thor. Like,
it's Thor. Thor's pretty cool.
But Thor 2 is fine. Thor 2 is a fun movie.
It was okay. I'm not rewatching that one.
Going into like this, I was like very little expectations, but like even from because I was not the biggest fan of First Avenger. I think it is the least powerful of the Marvel movies. But like it was this, like, from the opening scene on the boat, it's great, and it had me locked in the whole movie, and I was just not expecting that in the slightest from the sequel to Captain America.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely Captain America, Winter Soldier first.
I agree. All right, what is your favorite MCU casting decision?
Oh, that's Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Hands down?
Hands down, Robert Downey Jr. What about you?
I'm going Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Oh no. Yeah. What side are you on?
I'm on Cap's side.
I'm on Iron Man.
100%, man.
Team Iron Man all the way. No,
Cap knows what's best for the world.
Superheroes need to register.
Cap knows.
They need to be checked.
What America needs. Cap knows.
Okay, Trump.
Cap for president.
Actually, Cap would probably be a better president.
He'd be a great president.
He'd be fine, but he's a soldier. He doesn't know how to run a country.
He'd kick Putin's butt.
But, like, Iron Man would know how to run a country better than...
No.
Cap. No, Iron Man.
He'd know the finances. You know what? They'll team up. Cap to be the enforcer.
I hope they do.
Iron Man would be politics.
I hope. I hear there's enough.
Of course they're going to do.
I hear there's a big enough stakes in this. Like, I don't know what I'd do if one of those two didn't make it out of this. Which I've heard the stories that...
Iron Man. Dun, dun, dun.
Captain America, I've heard.
No. Cap's making it out.
I've heard both. That's what's the thing is, like, I've heard both. I've heard sides from both. One of the two might not make it out. I hope both of them do. I don't know how Infinity War is going to work without both of them.
Cap's, to me, because, like, it's just a role that can be taken. You can make him very, Henry Cavill-ish, Superman, boring.
But he's not.
No, he's not. He's conflicted and, like, relatable.
And I think Winter Soldier's what made him that. Before that, like...
No, I like the first one. He was good in the first one.
But he wasn't... He's not the character he is now.
No, but he's evolved over time.
Winter Soldier really made him that character. And I mean, I'll admit that Tony Stark, Iron Man, you kind of see it in Ultron, kind of where his character's going. But, like, other than that... Oh, wait. Iron Man's not going to die. Because he's in Spider-Man Homecoming, speaking of which.
Spider-Man Homecoming. He's in that.
They just announced that he is in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Well, that's disappointing.
No, it's not. I don't hear, but, like, also it's not disappointing because my biggest worry for Spider-Man Homecoming was the fact that it was going to be so much in Sony's hands that it was just going to be kind of bad. Because most of the things that are in Sony's hands, no offense, Sony, you do great on the X-Men.
He did good Spider-Man 2. Then he ruined it for Spider-Man 3.
But they gave... Sam Raimi had so much control over the first two Spider-Mans. He didn't have as much control over Spider-Man 3.
No.
And then the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, I like them for certain things. I really don't like them for other things. Like, I do not like the first Amazing Spider-Man because I think it has a very bad villain. I think what Spider-Man 2 is, why it's fun in times, is singly because of Electro's a really cool villain to watch.
Say Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. The only reason that it's good is that the villains are fun to watch. It's fun to see their battles, but that is it.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Like,
man, they set up so well for the Sinister Six. But then it's not.
I would love Marvel to do a Sinister Six movie.
It's never gonna happen.
It will never happen because I bet you Marvel will make one Spider-Man movie. It will be okay. Homecoming, I believe, will just be okay. I think they'll put Spider-Man.
That might be good.
I mean, we'll see how. We'll see how Civil War does. Everyone says Spider-Man's good in Civil War.
Yeah,
but that kind of lowers the stakes for me for it because Iron Man won't die because he's going to be in the Spider-Man movie.
Cap's not dying,
but there's no confirmation.
He's not.
There's just no confirmation.
So that's my favorite casting. Second though is probably Chris Pratt though, just as a,
oh my god, I forgot about that. He is born to play that character.
Yep, he is.
I mean, Chris Pratt, I love him. He is my favorite actor that's out right now, pretty much. He does play the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
But the thing is, I don't get tired of that character.
Not yet.
Not yet. But like when he was, the trailer for, if you guys didn't know, the trailer for the Magnificent 7 remake dropped. Yeah, best part about that is Chris Pratt being Chris Pratt. Like when
I'm like, you're not doing no accent.
But like he's walking down that one alleyway drinking a whiskey bottle, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm all in.
He's funny.
I'm all in.
I'm more excited for Denzel in that.
Denzel does look like I was surprised he's going to be the one who carries it. And that cast is good.
Oh yeah, Denzel. He's
Denzel.
He's as good as he gets.
Chris Pratt. What's the other? Wow.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
I like Ethan Hawke.
The other guy from Daredevil and from Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah. It's the director of Training Day, so there's gonna be some edge to the movie.
It'll be fine. I just like Chris Pratt so much that like I don't like. Even in Jurassic World, he plays Star-Lord in Jurassic World. Me and my friends even made jokes in the theater, like. When what's her name? The main other girl. Jesus, I'm so bad with names today. In Jurassic World.
Oh, the lookalike for Jessica Chastain.
She's not a lookalike. She has her own. She has her own thing.
No, she does. I just thought they were the same people. Bryce Dallas Howard. When she's like when she's with him, with Chris Pratt, and the little kids come up and go, "Who's that?" One of my friends looks over at me and goes, "I'm Star-Lord, man." You know, Star-Lord, legendary outlaw. And it that's the thing. He kind of did play Star-Lord in all these movies, but I can watch Guardians over and over and over again. I still love that movie. It is one of my favorite movies of all time, and that's saying something because it's the only movie made in the last 10 years that's in my favorite album, sort of. Guardians
is the only blockbuster that's been made in the last 10 years that's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Really?
I can watch it so many
Batista?
times. Love Batista.
He's pretty sick.
It's like
Bradley Cooper's voice acting. He's funny too.
It's a metaphor. It'll go right over his head. Nothing goes over my head. I'm too fast.
No, he's funny.
Catch it.
Yeah.
And people even said he was like the weak point of that movie. I don't think Batista was the weak point.
I don't agree with that, but people were saying that. I was like, what?
It's like, no, he was hilarious.
I agree.
I don't really think, Ronan maybe was like the weak point of that movie. But even so, he was fine.
He's going to be in the Blade Runner. Batista's
going to be in the Blade. Oh, yuck.
Yeah, that's why
he was in Spectre.
Yep.
He was fine. He wasn't really memorable. That movie in itself wasn't really memorable, except for that opening shot.
Interesting.
Did you see Spectre?
No.
That's fine. You weren't missing much.
I'm not really a big fan of Daniel Craig as
long as you've seen Bond. Skyfall and Casino Royale. Those are definitely the high points. I don't think it's really... Those have been the good ones.
The director that's doing the new Blade Runner is the guy who did Sicario.
Oh, wait. Sicario is... okay. I didn't like Sicario that much.
Oh, I liked it.
I thought it was really well shot, and there's some cool parts to it, but the sound mixing was off. I couldn't hear most of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think also I just didn't really... I need to see it again. I didn't really get what was going on most of it.
Oh. That was cool.
But I don't think it was Oscar worthy.
I like the cartel storyline. Benicio, Emily Blunt's good.
I think Benicio is the better part of that.
Emily Blunt in one of the underrated movies, the Tom Cruise one.
Oh, I still need
Edge
to see
of Tomorrow. You haven't seen that?
Live, Die, Repeat.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you should see it, dude.
I definitely.
Tomorrow, it's good.
It's up there. It's I saw I saw was the other one, Oblivion.
This is a lot better.
Oblivion.
I saw Oblivion.
Oblivion's kind of interesting for me.
Oblivion comes off as like a little, stupid. But
it does.
Edge of Tomorrow is awesome.
But like Oblivion was the first movie I saw as a social person. Like I was a very there's the first part of high school. Like before I really knew how to hang out with people in high school, there was this time period, the very first like year of high school. Didn't really know how to hang out with people. But then like I kind of figured it out. It's a long story. But Oblivion was the first movie I saw, like, just hanging out with friends, at least in a long time. And, like, that's, like, the only reason I actually, like, remember Oblivion well. Other than that, it was a completely forgettable movie.
No, we watched it in high school, the whole grade. We won, like, something, and so they played it for us in the auditorium, so we watched that. They also did that for Guardians of the Galaxy the next year, because we won something.
Oh, but that's, like, such a better movie.
Yeah. But, no, Edge of Tomorrow's... It's Groundhog Day, but sci-fi, like...
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
There was something else I saw Emily Blunt in that. Oh, wait, was she in Into the Woods?
She's Into the Woods.
I liked her in that a lot.
I heard reviews that she was horrible in the new Huntsman movie.
Me too. I have no interest in the Huntsman movie at all. Like...
Yeah, me neither.
In any way. All right, well, we've been ranting a while. Let's kind of wrap the show up how we usually do. What's coming out next week?
Yeah, well, like we mentioned, Keanu. It should be, it's going to be a hard R comedy. Action.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of in its way a good thing that there is a hard R. I mean, it's getting a hard R comedy. That's a good genre. Thing.
It's not getting bad reviews. It has a 75 so far. Should be enjoyable. Fans of the show. Ratchet and Clank, kids going to be 3D. So
I think
like
I think I will go see Keanu. I don't think I'll go see Ratchet. It depends on if I have money.
I see. And that's pretty...
that's pretty much it?
Yeah.
I think Jungle Book might hold this...
Oh, yeah, it's most likely.
Because I don't know how wide release Keanu will.
Yeah, no, I don't think their fan base is that big. I'm expecting like 20 mil. And
I don't think Ratchet and Clank has had enough advertisement.
No, it has.
Like, let's go see Ratchet and Clank. Like, I saw one trailer of it. When I've been in theaters, I've seen one trailer for Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I agree. I actually haven't seen one, to be honest.
It looks like the video game. Like, it looks like there's no difference.
Yeah. So I'm expecting Jungle Book to hold on to number one.
I think I would, if for our viewers, I think we should still, if they haven't seen it yet, we should recommend them to go see Jungle Book.
Mm-hmm. One of your favorites are coming out on DVD, Krampus.
Yes, I was going to say the video release, Blu-ray releases are Krampus, Ride Along 2, Jane Got a Gun, and Son of Saul. Son of Saul is a Oscar winner, I believe, and so that's impressive. Oscar winner for, I believe, for best foreign film.
Interesting.
So that's something. Krampus, I love Krampus, but it's not really the time to watch Krampus. It's like, why would you watch Trick or Treat right now?
Yeah.
It's really niche. I'm going to say that because like I saw it with a bunch of people and most of them didn't really like it, but I really liked it because I feel like it's got a really special place. Like I found it hilarious because I've watched horror movies a lot and like it makes fun of horror movie tropes. And I found it really funny, and it's not really scary of a movie.
Yeah.
It's really atmospheric for the time. Like, it's not going to be atmospheric right now because it's not Christmas time.
Yeah. Another one that's getting released in limited is The Man Who Knew Infinity. Dave Patel, the Slumdog Millionaire guy, can't break out of that role, but him and Jeremy Irons. They're supposed to be good in it. I don't know how good the story is, but I'm hearing good stuff from the two actors.
All right. Oh, okay. Here we go. The movies that are coming out on VOD only. Deadpool.
Nice.
Deadpool. If you are a VOD purchaser, we can't even stress that more. Deadpool was something we recommended for you guys for so long. I don't think it's as good as The Jungle Book, but it is definitely the second best movie that's come out this year. Dirty Grandpa.
Well, actually, never mind. Bad Grandpa's better. I always get confused.
Dirty Grandpa, unrated. I still haven't seen it. I'll probably see it when it comes out for rent. The Boy, horror movie. Heard it wasn't good. And then Son of Saul, like we said. Also, Where to Invade Next. That is that one Michael Moore documentary.
Nice.
So that is about it. We're going to wrap up the show today. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please like us on Facebook. Yeah, throw us that like. We're at 37 likes right now. Love to get that higher up. If you haven't had a chance to watch this episode in its entirety or last week's episode, they are online at www.wjrh.org. And tune in next week at same time as usual, noon Eastern Standard Time, I believe.
Yes.
To 1. And yeah, we'll be talking more movies. We'll figure out what it is before next week. Probably not going to go see a movie this weekend. Saving up for Civil War. I'll probably see that a ton. So, yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Have a good week, everyone.